Welcome, everybody, to the Waiting Room Podcast. I am your host, Kyle Waite. And today, again, it's like every Wednesday, we're just going to cover a little sports and cover a little bit about what is on my mind. To give you guys a quick rundown, I'm going to run over what's bothering me as always. We're going to talk a little bit about the Julio Jones trade and my thoughts on that. And then we are going to run down the NBA playoffs because, it's the most exciting part about sports right now, unless you're a Red Sox fan, in which case, we're kicking butt. As we lead off every show, what's bothering Kyle? If you guys read the little caption before I started, it's a little two-parter today. A little two-parter. We got some sports. We got some non-sports. What's bothering me today, and it's going to sound hypocritical because what I'm going to compare it to, I have less of an issue with. Currently, if you watch baseball, you will notice that pitchers are having a hell of a year. Hell of a year. Good for them. It's fun. It's fun to watch guys throw the ball hard. It's fun to watch guys strike out. It's fun to watch guys beat the crap out of the ball. It really is. But when you find out the reason for it, and some of the reaction, you feel a little less okay about it. The current largest issue, and it's cheating. Whether or not Major League Baseball wants to call it that, because Major League Baseball has an image problem right now. Younger viewers don't like it. I'm not calling myself an older viewer. I'm by no means old, but people from my generation, are sort of into it, but a lot of older people. It's harder to grab younger people that do not grow up playing baseball or with aspirations to play Major League Baseball or college ball or whatever. But if you're not actively interested in the sport, Major League Baseball has a problem attracting fans. It just does. There's standing. There's the optics of how athletic are these guys. So by no means is baseball going to want to come out and say, "Hey, we have a cheating problem." No, I'm not a huge fan of sports writers in general. Some of them are good. Some of them really do try to stick to fact-based things and not, this guy made me mad, so I'm going to write him up. But sports writers don't ignore it. Sports writers have noticed, and they called into question, why are we striking more people out this year? And it's simple. And it's funny because the reason it's simple, if we go back to this summer, a guy from the Los Angeles Angels organization got fired for it. Currently, what is going on in baseball, for those that don't know, is they have a foreign substance being applied to the ball. Again, it's in the rule book. It's in Major League Baseball's rule book. You cannot apply a foreign substance to the ball to obtain better grip. Now, if we're being angels about everything, if we want to believe all the right things about people, you'd say, well, why don't we want pitchers having better grip? They'd have better control. It'd lead to people not getting hit as much. Hey, if everything was on the up and up and we believed in everybody, I would be right there with you. I do agree. That's why they have this thing called a rosin bag up on the mound. It is the one acceptable form that we've been given people. Hey, if you want to have better grip, we have a bag of rosin up on the pitcher's mound or behind it, so you can have better grip on the ball. However, teams have taken a step further, and it's what people do. People push rules. People outright break rules. As I said, I'm going to compare it to something that I have far less of an issue with. But this harkens back to the steroid days. Baseball needed to be exciting. What saved baseball in the 90s was the home run race. I would be lying if I said I had an issue with the medical application of steroids. I mean, they use them. They use them every day, uh, in hospitals. They use them as something to help people. So if you were to tell me, hey, players were now allowed to use steroids, uh, provided they were given by a medical doctor, again, I see the issues with it. Uh, I have less of an issue with it, and part of it's watching a documentary about the health effects that steroids have. I mean, they're all reversible, provided you get them from a doctor. That's just what it is. Uh, Again, I'm not advocating for cheating unless that becomes an allowable thing. Yeah, baseball players don't take steroids. All athletes don't take steroids. To a point, it's a shortcut for those that either cannot afford them or those that are choosing not to use them because they want to play on a level playing field. I get it. So when we go back to a level playing field, you have baseball players not on a level playing field anymore. You have teams who they might call them something else, but effectively they're guys made to develop a substance to apply to the ball. And it's noticeable. CBS came out with an article last week about how the spin rate for pitches is up this year. For those of you that are not baseball nerds like me, effectively what a spin rate does on a ball is that it increases the movement. So if the ball is moving while also going fast, whether it's up, down, to the side, it is harder to hit. Again, if you do this by noble purposes, go ahead. We saw what happens when guys. If you're a Giants fan, you saw Tim Lincecum effectively lose the ability to really throw a baseball after about 5 years because he had such a high spin rate and such a slight frame. Effectively, that's what you're going to do to your body because throwing is in a natural motion. Is what it is. Again, we have a sport based around it. So, yeah, I understand why people would want to see, hey, I found this shortcut. It's definitely against the rules. It's been against the rules since the 1930s. We're close to 100 years now where it's been absolutely 100% not allowed. At one point, and I wasn't alive then, so I couldn't tell you why. I've looked back to see why it was allowable and didn't find a whole lot. But during the 20s and until the mid 30s, where it was officially banned and nobody could doctor a ball, a spitball, if you will, they had designated spitballers. Sounds crazy, you saying, hey, we're designating these people to cheat. I guess if you know what you're going against, that's you're gonna say it's okay, but obviously cheating's cheating. It's weird. That's all I could find was that it's real strange that at one point Major League Baseball allowed that to happen. But for those that follow baseball, you know that they also allowed steroids to happen. They did. Their commissioner, whether or not he has said I allow steroids, no, he's never said those words. But it's been fairly well implied since steroids became a huge topic for baseball that the baseball commissioner knew. Again, I won't pretend I have a huge problem with it. I was there for Barry Bonds' 73rd home run. I hope there's a day that comes where somebody breaks it so we can stop talking about if it's legitimate or not. I mean, it's legit. He hit 73 balls out of the park. That's legitimate. But again, we're talking about the means of how guys are doing stuff, whether or not guys are striking people out at an exorbitant rate. Yeah, again, it bothers me because we're saying, hey, we kind of know. We kind of know. The public knows. If you follow baseball, the public knows. But to say, oh, hey, we'll do something about it because that's what baseball has effectively done. Baseball is aware. They've come out and said, hey, we have a plan. We're going to do something about it shortly, eventually, when time comes. They suspended 4 minor leaguers. I mean, it just seems silly. It doesn't seem like a fix to a plan. If you want to talk about a fix to a plan, why not go after the guys that are making 20, 30, $40 million a year? Two guys, and both of them have been called out in the media because it's been so egregious that you can see it on TV. Trevor Bauer of the Dodgers and Garrett Cole of the Yankees. Promise, guys, my bias against the Yankees has nothing to do with why I'm bringing this up. Cheating's cheating. I have a problem with it. Now you guys can go into, whether or not the Red Sox cheated at various points. That's not a conversation, for right now. But I'm not going to pretend like they didn't have it. I'm not going to pretend like I was okay with it at the time. I wasn't. I don't like rooting for cheaters. If we're going to let everybody do it, let everybody do it. Just let it happen. Take the rule out of the rule book. Let everybody be on a playing field that's even. But if the media for sports knows that, hey, teams have guys that are creating substances effectively to apply to the ball and that are so sticky that they just get stuck to your hand at times. There's been reports fans literally had stitches ripped off of the ball because the substances were so sticky. I don't like cheating. It's not fair for the guys that are trying to do it legitimately. Now, if you say, hey, this isn't a rule anymore, okay. I mean, that's how a lot of rules work. Rules are, to a point, arbitrary. Whoever's in charge makes the rules, follow them. That's it. It sounds silly. My moral compass doesn't point left or right in regards to rules. It's just, if you are going to have a rule, enforce the rule. The ironic part about it, and we'll find out later today because he pitches again, the Yankees' Garrett Cole, after baseball said they were going to do something about it, subsequently has a lower spin rate on his pitches and allows 5 runs in 5 innings. Still struck out 7. I mean, good for him. But there, a game-to-game causality may not be the thing that we're pointing to. What I will say that if baseball is claiming to be on track to do something and some of these pitchers start performing worse, you're going to say, hey, cheater, suspend these guys of games. That's all. And that's all I want for it. I want for us to put people on an even playing field, especially when it comes to, hey, some guy may be on the cusp of making a major league roster. Maybe not a future great, but a guy that's good, but he's not cheating. Is it fair to that guy to just say, oh, well, you didn't cheat, so you're going to look not as good, and you're not bad. We're going to go with the guy that's, clearly doctoring a ball. That's all. We're going to move on to my second what's bothering Kyle. As I've stated to most of you, I am in the military. I will not go about disparaging public figures because they are my bosses, they sign my paychecks. But I'll speak on things that bother me. I'm a native Californian, so this is not a new topic for me. This isn't something that I stumbled upon because the news is blowing it up right now. Or Republicans or, Fox News, whoever. But the border crisis has been a part of my life since I was a child. I come from Northern California. Little less noticeable, but from the time I was a child, you'd hear, the border crisis. I'm 32 now. Still, border crisis. The difference is the publicity we give it and just how poor it's getting for those people. While I won't disparage the person that said these things, we just had somebody come out and say, hey, if you're from these countries trying to migrate to America, don't come. I mean, these were the same people that ran on, hey, we're going to fix the border. That doesn't seem like a fix to me. there's clearly a problem. We clearly need to at least slow down people trying to immigrate here. But that kind of goes against everything that you would say. Hey, don't come here. Well, you know, our country kind of ran on the motto: "Give me, you're tired, you're hungry, you're weak." You know, it's one of those things that bothers me because I have friends here that have immigrated legally, and legally, illegally. Uh, I have friends that are here, so I understand that to a point as much as I can without having to experience it. I understand the struggle that some of these people go through, and I understand that to a point there's a huge problem. There's a huge problem that just keeps getting worse, and I'm not laying it on one president. It's been a problem since I was a child. It's like 5 or 6 presidents, but like we're just not doing anything about it. And so for the people that same people that harassed the last president, and I'm not saying they're not well within their rights to. Again, it was a crisis then. It's a crisis now. It was a crisis 10 years ago. Um, but then to come out and say, hey, well, like don't come here. It sends a conflicting message. It sends a message that like I'll give you the lip service if I want to help you, but I'm not going to help you. I haven't heard a plan on what's going to happen, and to my knowledge, there isn't one. There isn't one. Uh, Today there was a protest against our vice president in Mexico because they're worried that Mexico's going to send their troops to the border, uh, and we're going to send our troops to the border and halt immigration. I mean, it's not a fix. It's really not. Might be a temporary fix, but some of that temporary fix is going to end up with lives lost, and it bothers me. Good, bad, male, female. I don't care who you are or where you come from. Like having to lose your life is not something that should have to happen. I understand we want to protect our borders, but to a point, we're trying to protect our borders from people that don't really want to harm us. They just want a better life. And I was telling my brother before I started the show, I was, you know what, like in a perfect world, I'd love to see open borders. Not wide open, not just hey, you're in Mexico, take 10 steps now you're in the U.S. Or Canada. Canada has the same ability, but not if you're from one of those countries you just walk right in. But hey, a system where we are collaborating with at least the two countries that border us in Mexico and Canada, and hey, maybe potentially Cuba, whatever. But collaborating with them and having a system where these people are able to come and go. They just have to scan it. Hey, we have a system where hey, we can scan their IDs, and maybe it's not a full background check, but something that says, hey, this person's not wanted for a crime. Okay, come on in. Come on in. That's what it should be. It's my opinion. I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but yeah, in a perfect world, I don't think we need to limit who comes in and out of the country. Yes, accountability matters. We need to know if there are dangerous people coming in. But of all the people that I've met that have come in, and I'm sure my experience varies from others, but my experience from all the people that I've met that have migrated from Mexico, immigrated, they're not bad people. They work every day. They pay taxes. They can't file a tax return. I mean, again, I understand there's rules. I went on a little diatribe about Major League Baseball. There's rules. We have rules for getting into this country. They matter. But at the same time, we're talking about humanity. We're not talking about a game. We're talking about humanity. Why not make rules geared towards our humanity? Why not make rules where we're saying, hey, you matter. You matter. You're not just because you're not from this country. It doesn't mean that you matter a little less. But hey, we're going to have to do a little bit of light checking on you. Again, this would have to be a collaboration. And I understand the issues that come with that, whether it's a physical limitation, whether, again, countries are worried about intelligence gathering, things of that nature. I understand it. I understand the reality of the world we live in. But yeah, that's the world that I'd like to see. I'd like to see a world where we don't have people in cages, people in what amounts to internment camps. I mean, hey, we took down the bars, we put up plastic sheeting. It's less bad. No, it's not. These people are still effectively being held in camps. I mean, there's not a lot human about it. And it's upsetting. It bothers me. It bothers me that we have people that are just sitting somewhere with no direction in their life. And I'm sure some people, bad things are happening to them. I mean, it's been reported that there's abuse that goes on there. Maybe not from Border Patrol, but from the people that end up there, end up abusing each other. And to a point, how could they not? They're effectively locked up. They're not in a prison, but they're in a prison of sorts. All because we want to shuffle blame back and forth between political party. And that's where I draw the line with rules. Political parties don't matter when it comes to humanity. I don't care who does it. Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, not party affiliated, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. I don't give a shit. Don't. But fuck, do we need to fix this shit? Laughing about it on the news, being evasive, or piling blame onto somebody else isn't helping these people. And that's what's bothering me today. We'll move on to something a little lighter, guys. Again, this is it's not just a sports show, but again, it's what I love. It's what I want to cover. We'll lead off NBA playoffs, man. NBA playoffs. Clippers fucking around again. I mean, I feel like as long as we have a Clippers team, we're gonna see the Clippers fuck games. That's what it is. They lost by 3 points. It's not the most egregious thing in the world, but run into the same problems they ran into with Dallas, letting an individual dictate a game for them, and that's really the story of the Clippers season is they may be able to shut down a whole team, but man, one guy may get off, and that seems to be what's dictating it. Donovan Mitchell, he's a good young player. He's really good, really talented. He's going to be one of those guys that, at some point you discuss as one of the best players in the league. Man goes off for 45 points, 16 of 30 shooting, 6 of 15 from three. Shoot over 50%. I mean, you're making your team, it's making your teammates' job a little easier, but one guy going for 45 points after you just had a guy doing the same thing, it speaks, I don't know if it's laziness or what it is, but the Clippers effectively are the ultimate fuck around and find out team. Like they fuck around. Yeah, they squeaked out against Dallas. They have the talent to squeak out games. But I mean, you look at Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, it was 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. It's great. It's great. It wasn't 9 of 19. Wasn't 50%. Again, that's where you're measuring your grades. You want them around 50% shooting or better. But 23, 7, and 3. There's got to be a little more effort there. There's got to be. You just look at it. They lost by 3. You're like, oh, Kawhi had 9 of 19. He had 23 points. Kawhi? Like the guy that just took over the last series and ended things. I don't know. Like I understand. I understand there's parts of it. Paul George goes 4 of 17. Same shit he was doing. But if Paul George is not getting off on offense, you better throw him on defense. You better make sure he's up and down. These two guys, whether or not people want to say, oh, it's old them, that's not them now. Kawhi and Paul George are two of the best wing defenders in the NBA. On top of being, good overall players. Kawhi, great. But it was 2 years ago, Paul George was, talked about for MVP, he was talked about for Defensive Player of the Year. Where's that guy? Where's that guy? Because their entire team is going to rise and fall on the backs of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So it blows my mind that we're having the same problem. And maybe it shouldn't. Maybe I should relax my standards. I mean, I did just prove myself wrong, having these standards so high for LeBron James, that maybe I'm expecting too much of guys night in and night out in the playoffs. But just you run into the same problem of, hey, nobody else specifically had a wonderful game. Jordan Clarkson, he hit 6 threes. That's the one other guy you're like, oh. I've been watching the NBA long enough. Jordan Clarkson, he might hit just threes. He's not hitting 6 of them again. But again, you have to focus all that energy on one man with Donovan Mitchell. Fuck around and find out. And what the Clippers from last year still have not figured out is they need to stop fucking around. That's it. I'm not trying to take anything away from Utah. Utah's a talented team. They're not a team that should be giving the Clippers problems, all because one man is doing all the work. My personal belief. That's it. I'm not saying that one guy shouldn't be leading teams, but come on, it's a theme that the Clippers have built of just playing the fuck around game. They gotta figure it out. That's it. I'm positive. This will probably be another 6-7 game series. It's probably, if you have the Clippers in the playoffs for the rest of the playoffs, you're going to be looking at the Clippers for 6 or 7 games a series, which begs the question: can they win a title that way? You're going to be awful tired, and I'm not saying they're not deep. I'm not saying they can't do it, but I mean, you're looking at it, and again, do you want to be playing 6-7 game series every series, or you want to try to close these guys out in 4 or 5? I'd say you want to be a little less tired when you get down to those final games. That's just me, though. Again, Utah, great effort. A 3-point win with Donovan Mitchell and Jordan Clarkson having pretty good games. I don't see it happening again. But if anybody can give games away, it's Clippers. It's the story of the Clippers franchise. If anybody can give it away, it's the Clippers. Sixers win. Tied up 1-1. I'm not overly shocked. I'm not. Because the Sixers have that size, they have that length, they have everything you'd want from a basketball team. You would expect the Sixers to have not even had to lose that first game. I mean, Joel Embiid, the rest of the team really came on late in that game, but that was pretty much the story of this game. It was just a continuation from the second half of game 1. Is they figured out a way to shut down Trae Young. He goes 6 of 16, 1 of 7 from 3. That's going to be the story of the Clippers. Sorry, we've moved on. Story of the Hawks. The Hawks live and die on Trae Young. It's just what they do. They've got a lot of talented pieces, whether it's Bogdan, whether it's Clint Capella with the pick and roll. Kevin Huerter had 20 points. Again, they have a lot of guys on their team that can contribute. But if Trae Young's not getting off, if Trae Young's not doing Trae Young things, they're going to be hard pressed to win a game. And I'm going to cross my fingers that they figure out something for game 3. But if I see more of the same game 3, I'm assuming this will be a 5-game series. All of this was really based around the health of Joel Embiid's knee, but he's got a partially torn meniscus. For those of you that don't know, the only thing that fixes that is surgery. He's either playing or he's not. He had 40. He's clearly he can play. Now, if it gets worse, might be a different story. That might be the story of the next series, or if they get to the finals, might be the story of the finals. It might be that meniscus finally gives away and Joel Embiid's done, so are the Sixers. But right now, again, it's the onus is on the Hawks to prove, hey, that game and a half where we just kind of got shut down and bullied. Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris is a good player. He's bounced around the league, not a household name. But if you're asking Tobias Harris to get you 20 points, he probably get you 20 points. The less good, but still pretty fun to watch, Seth Curry. Again, he's getting off right now. He's getting off. He's putting up points. Basically leaving Ben Simmons open to, hey, I'm going to play defense. I'm going to distribute. I'm going to do all the other things my team needs. And that's kind of what you want from Ben Simmons. Until the day he figures it out, and I still think it's a mental thing, until the day he figures out a jump shot, Ben Simmons is going to be real hard to watch. You're going to be real hard to be, where's he fit in the team? But when you have a 6'10" point guard going up against a 6-foot point guard, I feel like it's pretty clear. Hey, Ben, we're going to take a little bit of the offensive load off of you. That's your game, but we're going to take some of this off you while Seth Curry's getting off, while Tobias Harris is getting off, while Shake Milton's getting off. Hey, we're going to take that off of you. Hey, we just need to play some defense on this man that physically Trae Young can't handle that. The Hawks will have to find things to do. Nate McMillan, the coach of the Hawks, has been around for a long time. If anybody can figure out, it should be Nate McMillan. But I got to see it. Gotta see it. The other series, I'm going to be honest, I'm not super invested in the Bucks Nets. Bucks took a 40-point loss the other night. It's going to be another thing where I have to see it. The Bucks looked decent game 1. Looked like they could hang, but that might have been a product of James Harden getting a little hurt. No James Harden, no problem. The Nets won by 40, though. They're up 2-0. It's just not a fun series right now. If you're a Nets fan, I'm sure all the fun in the world. More power to you. Keep bragging. I hope the Sixers make it. I hope Sixers make it through so they can at least do a little bit of something to at least try and impede it. Because right now it's looking like Brooklyn and whoever makes it from the West. And as much as I love watching talented teams, I like they got to work for it a little bit. Come on, that's how greatness is built. And finally tonight, Suns are up 1-0 in their series against Denver. It's not that I don't believe in the Suns. It's just having been in that area for a little while, I didn't get to watch this iteration of the Suns. It's real hard to believe in a team that's known for falling short. The Suns back to their days with Steve Nash, Raja Bell. They had Jim Johnson, they had Joe Johnson, they had Amari Stoudemire. They had a squad. One of the most talented teams in the NBA, and could not get it done. Maybe some refereeing helped that, but I'll say, the Suns are just known for not getting done. The Suns are known for anytime something bad happens, they just kind of fall apart. So, not saying I don't think they are going to make it. It's harder for me to digest that I'm gonna call for Suns wins. It really is. Nikola Jokic, guy just got named the MVP yesterday. We're not worried about him. He's going to show up. Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., are one of the point guards going to show up? That's what we're looking at. Are one of them. Is somebody going to pop up? Because right now, again, the Suns look scary. I can't call for them. I just can't. Sorry, guys. I got burned as a kid rooting for the Suns. When the Kings were out of it. I got burned rooting for the Suns. Hoping like, hey, this really high scoring team can do it. I just got burned. So again, game 2 tonight. We'll see what happens. I want to finish off the show. We're going to cover the Julio Jones trade. Probably the second most exciting thing to happen. I guess it's the most exciting thing to happen this offseason, other than the Aaron Rodgers drama. But maybe the second most exciting storyline. Julio Jones goes from the Falcons to the Titans. They trade Julio and a 6th round pick for a 2 and a 4. I mean, it's hard to pick a winner here. And I'm gonna try to break it down best I can why. So the Falcons they literally cannot hold Julio onto their team anymore. They couldn't. It's tragic because if you love seeing guys play for one team for a certain amount of time, it's hard to see, oh man, this guy spent 10 years here and now he's gone. But sometimes you have to move on. So it's just the nature of it. Again, the NFL is a business like any of the pro sports. The Falcons are now able to sign their rookies, which, I mean, if you're trying to build a team, which the Falcons are currently in that mode, I believe 2 years from now, they have $82 million tied up to Matt Ryan, Grady Jarrett, excuse me, and Deion Jones. And that's, $82 million for 3 guys, one of whom is not great. Matt Ryan can be cut, and they'd only have to pay him about 15 of his 40+ million 2 years from now. But again, the Falcons are in a place where they're trying to build a team. They want to sign Kyle Pitts. They want to sign the rest of their draft class. I understand it. It makes sense for the Falcons. The Falcons had to get rid of somebody. They effectively could not get rid of Matt Ryan without taking a huge loss and maybe still not being able to sign their rookies. So it made sense. But you're losing out on a great. To compound the problem, Calvin Ridley, their now number 1 receiver, had foot surgery. Foot surgery, okay, it might have been earlier in the offseason. It's not the world's biggest deal, but when you look at, hey, what does this guy have to do? Like, he has to run. He has to stop. He has to start again. He has to make a hard right or left cut. He has to make a hard cut to come back to the ball. You think of things like that when you hear foot injury for a skill position player. And you're like, oh, this isn't a Liz Frank injury, so maybe it's fine. Maybe it doesn't matter. But when you look at the potential things stopping the Falcons, who, by all accounts, could be the second best team in their division, that's going to be hard to knock off Tom Brady and the Bucs, who brought back gosh darn near everybody and then added in the draft. But again, the Falcons may be in some trouble. But to be honest, they need to start a rebuild now rather than later, because they're going to have to make probably another hard decision next year. It adds up. So for the Falcons, I'm not saying they're taking an L on this. I think it might be closer to a draw. And the reason I'll say that is I think the Titans trading for Julio Jones is fantastic. I really do. I think for football fans of that region, I think for people that like, video games and like having talent spread out all over the NFL, I think it's great. Fantasy league. There are multi-purpose reasons why this is really great on top of the football reason. Tennessee Titans had A.J. Brown, one of the most exciting young receivers, and nobody. Nobody that you get excited about. I got Julio Jones. A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Derrick Henry. Good place to be at. You have three guys who just physically, uh, alpha males. Just they are big, strong, fast, scary guys that you don't want to have to hit over and over and over. They have three of them. You could argue, oh, Ryan Tannehill's not that good. 2 years ago, I'd say, yeah, you're right. Ryan Tannehill, bum. Last year, I was saying, hey, he's got to do it again. He's got to show me that last year wasn't a fluke. Might not have been great, guys, but hey, the guy can lead a team. Hey, he had those bad years in Miami. Let's be honest. His coach might have been a part of that. His coach is Adam Gase. Adam Gase is probably responsible for the end of a handful of players' careers. So I'm not going to fault Ryan Tannehill, and I'm going to, at least for another year, I'm going to stop betting against him. So they have a good quarterback, a great running back, and two great receivers. Really good place to be at. That's why I disagree with why they'd win the trade. They're not Julio Jones away from winning a Super Bowl. They're not. Their defense is atrocious, which is crazy. Let me say that again. Their defense is atrocious. They're terrible. It's awful to watch. They were statistically one of the worst defenses in football last year. It's honestly baffling considering their coach was a pretty good NFL player. He's a pretty good defensive NFL player to where you'd think, hey, with his evolving mind, with his knowledge of the game, past and present, you'd figure, hey, this guy's got it figured out. You figure maybe the offense is the problem. No. Defense has been trash for a couple of years now. And I don't see the turn for it. They drafted Caleb Farley. He's got back injuries. They signed Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree was on the Steelers. And I have a hard time believing anybody that leaves the Steelers is particularly great until you do it. I hate the Steelers. Hate the Steelers. But I wasn't even like, oh, ha, they lost Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree is a good player. But he's going from being number 2 opposite TJ Watt and all of the monsters they had on their defensive line to he's the guy. And we all just watched a year of Jadeveon Clowney not doing shit. So, I mean, maybe it's an uptick from not doing shit, but Dupree, you gotta show me. Personal feelings aside on Jeffrey Simmons, he's a good football player. Don't like him. Think he's a trash person. Good football player. Who's lined up next to him? Who's lined up next to Jeffrey Simmons that you're like, he's got to help? Rashaan Evans. Good football player. Who's lined up next to him? Are we saying Jayon Brown is coming back healthy and he's really good? Because he wasn't particularly great when he was on the field last year. Are we saying Eli Harold is suddenly going to be this world beater after being an okay player for the last few years? And we get to their secondary. Their secondary, they've got Kevin Byard. Top 3, at worst. Top 3 safety in the league. Who's lining up around him? Who are you looking at? Their cornerback group was trash last year. Now, if we assume Caleb Farley, Janoris Jenkins, and anybody else lining up back there is better, okay. I mean, Christian Fulton should be better with another year under his belt. Got to see it. Their defense is ass, and I don't see anything that made them better. So I can't say, Tennessee, you won. Tennessee, it's a great trade for you. You're going to sell some jerseys, probably have an exciting offense if your offense keep going without your offensive coordinator. But man, did you really do anything to improve that defense? Did you really? I know you threw a whole bunch of money at some guys. But did you really improve that defense? It remains to be seen, which is why, as fun as it is, I'm glad that there's some league drama over with. It's hard for me to be like, yeah, go Titans. Titans were winning their division anyway. You'd be real hard pressed. Maybe the Colts will challenge them, provided Carson Wentz can get back on track, and that's a big maybe. The Colts could have also traded for Julio. I probably would have rooted for that a little more because then I would say that might put them a step above Tennessee. But where we're at, I don't think Tennessee was at a place where they're missing the playoffs, but I don't see them having taken that step to be better than a Kansas City or a Buffalo or a Baltimore. I just don't. I mean, realistically, are they better than the Browns? Maybe. Not on defense. It's one of those things. It's a really exciting thing that a big name trade happened. Not great if you're a Falcons fan, but again, it doesn't move the needle up for the Tennessee Titans, and it's one of those things. It's a little boring if you think about it. But again, happy it's done. It's over with. I'm happy we can stop talking about where's he going. Now we can focus on, hey, is Aaron Rodgers reporting to camp? He might. Packers are talking about not finding him. Good for them. You can find a loophole anywhere because the new collective bargaining agreement was supposed to disallow teams from allowing stuff like that. But is Aaron Rodgers going to report? His teammates have his back. Jair Alexander came out this week. I believe Devontae Adams came out this week. You're like, hey, we got his back. It's what you'd want from teammates. So good for him. But again, we've got a little bit more drama to play out before the season starts. I forgot to lead with this. So, I will post my announcement for the Waiting Room podcast. I did tell you guys earlier in the week, we do have something going on, and I'm excited to announce that one of the people I promote is offering a promotional offer for the show. The Arizona Flag Company will offer 10% off of any purchase with the mention of the podcast. Again, Jason's a good dude. Matter of fact, I do plan on having him on the podcast. He started his company during COVID. And part of it touches on an important subject that I knew was eventually going to come across my desk, and I wasn't sure how. But it's a subject that's very near and dear to my heart, something I really care about. And through the vacuum of being able to have Jason tell the story about his company, you guys will get a face for the guy. Again, he does quality work. Look up the Arizona Flag Company. He's told me he's made over 700 handmade flags this far. Give him a shout. Let him know what you want. He's a good dude. Again, I am having him on soon. You guys will get a face to that name. And hopefully you guys will feel more comfortable. Again, he does good quality work, and I want to support that. As always, for my religious folk out there, Truth Valley Church, my brother Marcus is out there doing great things through God. Just looking, dapper as all hell in the wedding he officiated this last weekend. Got to shout him out. They're doing great things through God. If it's not your thing, this doesn't apply to you. But if you are looking for an online ministry, or if you're in Arizona and you're looking for an at-home ministry, Truth Valley Church in Arizona, find them on Facebook. Lastly, this isn't so much an announcement, but I'm excited about it. I want to let viewers know about it. Friday, my show is going to have my guy Taj from Taj TV, who I promote every week and will for the foreseeable future until he tells me, Kyle, shut up. I don't want to be associated with you anymore. But I'm excited we're having him on the podcast on Friday. Again, for those of you that are sick of the sound of my droning voice, go check out Taj. He might not say the most popular things all the time. He may not say everything that relates to you, but the man has a voice and you should hear it. So I'm going to keep supporting it. Again, Taj TV. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him on Facebook. I support this man. I hope you do the same. Guys, I'm still waiting. I haven't even had question one. Question one, I'm waiting for it. At one point, I do want to get people on. Ask questions. What do you want to know? Who do you have questions of me? Do you have questions of guests? Do you just want to interact and say, Kyle, you look funny. Why are you always wearing hoodies? What are you doing? You're inside. The email's at the bottom, kyledewait@gmail. Shoot your questions. I'm curious to learn about some of the people I don't know, some of the people I do know. If you're interested in being on the pod, if you have something to contribute to it, I'd love to hear it. You can also find me on Instagram, WR Podcast Official, and I usually post the shows for those that have friends that don't have Facebook but want to see it on YouTube. Waiting Room Podcast at YouTube. I usually post them the following day. Everybody, that's it for the show today. I appreciate everybody that pays a little bit of attention. I'm going to keep pushing through this until I just can't or don't want to. But I still have that fire in my belly. I'm also fueled by some, good Woodford. I want to keep this going. I want to keep learning about people. I want to keep learning about things that I don't know. So again, like, share, tell your friends. Till Friday, guys. Thanks for watching.